Open debate, and I call Ruth Maguire to be followed by Joe Fitzpatrick. Ms Maguire, please.
Incorporation is a way of children having their voices heard. They know that they'll be listened to and they know that they matter. A lot of young kids feel overlooked in society as a whole, but Incorporation of the UNCRC is saying, you're here, we see you and we're helping you out. Having any knowledge of that is really going to do the world of good for a lot of children. Those are the words of one of the Children and Young People's Commissioner's young advisors. Presiding Officer, what has been a really difficult year for everyone, but perhaps particularly for our children and young people. It's an absolute joy to be standing in our Scottish Parliament and speak in favour of this landmark bill. I'll congratulate my committee colleague Mary Fee on her penultimate speech. We were even doing that differently, and I just want to commend her commitment to justice and fairness and equality. She's made a difference in her time here, and she'll be missed, I'm sure. I'd like to sincerely thank the Deputy First Minister, John Swinney, and Children's Minister, Marie Todd, for the leadership they've shown in taking a maximalist approach to incorporation. I thank colleagues and clerks on the Equalities and Human Rights Committee for their hard work and commitment, particularly those who never missed the early starts or the late finishes or indeed the Saturdays to ensure that the voices of children and young people have been heard and acted on. We didn't accept the term hard to reach when we were planning our participation, and no public authority should ever describe any child or young person like that. It's incumbent on us to reach out and listen to all children. And on that note, I thank the outreach team who facilitated the events that enabled us to speak with and hear from children and young people. My biggest thanks, though, goes to all those children and young people and their supporters, who first of all campaigned so hard for this for decades, and then generously and openly shared their thoughts, their experiences, and challenged and helped us to improve this bill. There are not many things in politics that command universal welcome, but almost everyone who shared their views with my committee through submissions, oral evidence, or participation, whether they were academics or children and young people, had one thing in common: overwhelming support for this bill. The reason? When this bill delivers in practice what it's setting out to do, it will put children's rights at the very centre of public authority decision-making. That will make a tangible difference to the lives of Scotland's children and young people, all of Scotland's children and young people. Now, that consensus and shared vision does not mean scrutiny and improvements weren't required. They were, and our Scottish Parliament did its job, with extensive consultation that put the views of children and young people at the heart of what we were doing. Presiding Officer, the best of this place isn't always when there's highly polarised political views being debated. It's also when we work together for a shared goal or ambition. I'm very proud of the work that my committee, this Parliament and the SNP Scottish Government have done in bringing forward this bill, scrutinising it, working together on amendments that will improve it for our children and young people. Scotland is leading the way here with the passage of this bill. We're on another step closer to realising our shared ambition of making Scotland the very best place to grow up. Another young person told us, there's no difference in talking to a child or an adult in terms of how seriously you need to take our rights. I'll be very glad to vote for that tonight and commend the bill to the Chamber.